Hello my dear students. Let us learn about transition elements. Transition elements are in fact metals which are placed in the middle of the periodic table, and their chemistry is best understood with the help of the electronic configuration. So let us begin how they were named and what was the reason for which they were named as transition elements. They were given this name, means transition, because they had placed between group 2A and group 3A in the main group elements, as we have to move across after calcium to gallium, and in the mid one has to see transition metals are placed. Transition metals are in fact the elements which are placed in the middle of the periodic table. More about them. They are also referred as D block elements because they are partially filled, they have partially filled d subshell orbitals, or these are those elements in which the electrons are filled in d subshell. More about them. They are also called as transition metals because of having electrons in d orbitals. The IUPAC rules defines transition elements as an element having a d subshell that is partially filled with electrons, or an element that has the ability to form stable cations or with an incompletely filled d orbitals. So let us see what are their electronic configurations. So these are some elements showing their electronic configuration from scandium to zinc. Scandium atomic number is 21, and when we see its electronic configuration, the outermost electrons are filled in 3d and d subshell has only one electron. Similarly, titanium has 2 electrons in d subshell, and as you see, all of these elements have electrons in their d subshells. More about them. Let us see some of the salient and main physical properties. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. As you are already defined that these elements are capable of making stable cations by losing electrons, and these metallic atoms have mobile or free electrons. That's why these electrons become the reason of conduction of electricity. Similarly, they are hard metals which can be hammered or bent into shape easily. They have higher melting points as compared to alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, but the exception is there. Mercury is the only transition element which is found in liquid state at the room temperature. The very important physical property, the property which is shown by transition elements, they are found in more than one oxidation state, and this is the property of only transition elements. And last but not the least, they are used as catalyst. So let us see what colors they are found in. You can see there are variety of beautiful and attractive colorful compounds just because of having transition metallic ions in them. Now this is a charming red powder. This is a chemical which has dichromate ion. It has chromium, which is a transition element. This pistachio green solid has iron +2 in it. Similarly, cobalt is making the compound very beautiful. Copper +2, it's giving blue color. Similarly, nickel +2 is giving sea green color. This is not the only fact about them. They are widely used in so many products, the jewelry, the ornaments, utensils, mechanical parts, in dyes, and in making wires. Because of transition metals usage over time, they were also called as coinage metals because copper, silver, and gold had been used for long and they were used in making coins. That's currency. That is why they are also called as coinage metals. More about them? Yes, what are you thinking? You must be thinking copper is there. Yes, it is copper, which is an efficient conductor of electricity and it is a transition metal. Look at the colorful ions. These colorful solutions are colorful just because of having transition metallic ions in them. So you see, each ion becomes colorful and these color become the reason for their identification. So they are used in chemical test and the lab becomes beautiful because so many colorful reagents are placed there. You see, in this slide I have tried to show you one element is found in two valencies with two different colors. You must be surprising. Iron when is found in +2 color, +2 oxidation state, it is pistachio green in color. But when it loses electron and it goes to Fe+3 state, it turns brown. Yes, similarly, all the transition elements and most of them are found in variable oxidation states. So they must be changing their colors while changing their oxidation state. Yes, the last point, they are used as catalyst. Catalysts are those chemical species which are often used to alter or to enhance, to increase to the speed of the reaction to get a good yield industrially. So iron is a very cheap metal but it is used in making of ammonia gas. Yes, I am talking about Haber's process. The next is nickel. Nickel is again a cheap metal but it is used widely in making of margarine and ghee. Basically the reaction involves hydrogenation of unsaturated compounds, unsaturated hydrocarbons in the presence of nickel to get a better yield. So transition elements are widely used because of their unique and distinctive chemistry. Now there is an activity to check the feedback of this lesson. You must be able to define what transition elements are or why they are called as transition metals. Next question, from which period transition elements begin in the periodic table? You just see the first transition element which is placed is with atomic number 21. Yes, I'm talking about scandium. Just check it out in which period it is present. What rocket engines are made up of and why? So you must be wondering that rocket engines must be using some metal of very high melting point. Yes, it can be a transition metal. What are alloys? The picture is showing you some of the alloys here. You can see I'm talking about brass, bronze, steel. So all these metallic mixtures are called as alloys and they are made to get the benefit of metals, maybe to increase the hardness or maybe to increase the stability or to increase the tensile strength. The last question is, what are catalysts? The catalysts are those chemical species which can be metallic even. They are used to increase the rate of the reaction just to get good production industrially. I'm leaving you with the hope that this discussion will be very helpful in remembering or in learning all the points and scientific reasons about transition metals, and you will be able to solve questions from the past papers from the same topic. I wish you good luck and take care.